What's up, guys? It's Chris here from American Adventure, and today I'm going to walk you through the bridges of the Rio Grande, right? There are maybe a couple spots along the Rio Grande that we're not going to talk about today just because we didn't see them, but if you by chance got on there down by Central or Isleta in the neighborhoods, why don't you post a link to your video down in the comments so the viewers can see those as well. So work our way up the bridges and tell us what you think. All right, here we go. One thing that you'll notice as you drive along the roads that cross the Rio Grande, such as Rio Bravo itself, is that you'll see these large trees on either side. This is typically the only place in Albuquerque that you'll see these type of large trees, but they span the whole city because the Rio Grande spans the whole city. They're quite beautiful, especially in the fall when the leaves start to change colors.
Shall we do a video real quick introducing where we are?
Alright, so we're down here at the Rio Bravo bridge, which you can see the bridge over there, right next to the Rio Grande in Albuquerque. We're going to walk around, show you some cool stuff, maybe bust out the detectors, we'll see. Alright, let's go. A lot of interesting graffiti out here, but right next to some cool trails. Look at that SpongeBob looking thing. You can tell some of these guys are some pretty good artists. Look at that bird, the detail there. And these beautiful trees. In each bridge, underneath each portion of the bridge, there was some incredible graffiti. So I don't know if you're into graffiti. I mean, oftentimes it's just defacing and takes away from the value of the thing you're trying to see, especially if there's nature involved. But over here and underneath the bridge, it's kind of ugly anyway, so this was kind of interesting to see. And we didn't feel unsafe at all. There was one spot where there was a homeless shelter, but we didn't spot anybody in it. Not at the Rio Bravo bridge, as you can see right there. There's a stroller there as well. And then right as we got to the last portion of the bridge, we finally got to see the water access. And I guess you can see it here off to the right. And as you know, as the water level rises with the spring thaw, you know, you won't be able to get this close. It'll be a couple bridges back where you would be having water access. But it's not the most beautiful place to visit the Rio Grande, definitely. And then on our way back, we did try to do a little metal detecting under the bridge, but just like with most places that we've done it, we just came up with trash.
Well, Mimi didn't find any treasure down here. She did end up finding a lot of metal trash and non-metal trash that we ended up helping to clean up the Rio Grande by taking it home with us. As we started to double back and make our way back to the car away from the bridge, we did notice that there was another access to the water along a path. And it was quite nice. There was a little bit less trash here, and you could barely hear the cars from the bridges above. So on our way back to the parking lot, you'll see there was some more trails here that paralleled the river down the bosque through the beautiful trees. This particular one had a memorial set up by somebody, but just beautiful trails through and through.
What's kind of cool about these kind of paths along the bosque is it doesn't matter if you're in any part of Albuquerque, they all seem to have these little offshoots that kind of look man-made that go down to the river. So it'll be one long trail with tons of little offshoots.
So to wrap up the Rio Bravo bridge before we go to the next Rio Grande crossing, I want to take you down a little trail that kind of looks like a jungle in the middle of Albuquerque.
Dense foliage.
All right,
there.
here we go. So just a real quick intro to the next one, because I know we're talking about the bridges that go over the Rio Grande. Well, the next bridge is actually called Bridge Road. All right, here we go.
So right off of Bridge Road, we got the Rio Grande Valley State Park. And there's Mimi. Let's check this out.
What you see a lot out here is toilet paper on the ground and garbage everywhere. But we're here to clean that up today and take a look at the beautiful river ahead. A little bit more graffiti down here, but coming right up on the river.
Hopefully we don't disturb anybody else that's sleeping.
Right, we just woke some homeless folks up. Not on purpose, but after a hard day's work. How about that? Think there's any fish out here?
It's bound.
There's a bound bag under the water.
Not
Not sure what that means, but we got this hanging from the bridge if you wanted to swing out into the water.
I'm gonna do a couple tosses.
Great place for swimming, I guess.
So we did think this might be a good place to do a little bit of magnet fishing. Maybe we'd find a gun or something. It is under a bridge in the city after all, right? But unfortunately, we didn't find anything at all here. So let's move on to the next bridge.
What'd you get?
Heading north now on up to the Montano Bridge. Let's see what we see here. So one of the first things that you see, or that we saw when we got into the Montano Park, is immediately upon exiting the parking lot, there are these fabulous sculptures that look like someone has literally just taken the existing tree trunks and carved these beautiful images into them, and some of them are even painted with colors. And I'm not sure how long they've been here, but these things have been here since I first saw this park, and are really cool. I would say that beyond a doubt, one of both my favorite and Mimi's favorite occurrences during this adventure was to walk through this true fall experience. As you can hear, these leaves are just landing on us from all over the place, and it sounds so cool, along with the crunch of our shoes as well. Well, the trail finally took us to the river, and as you can see, we've made it a little bit north now. We're at Montano, and it looks a lot cleaner. Wrapping up our Montano visit, we saw some beautiful riverbanks and saw a little free library at the park on our way out. So wrapping up our trip, we went up to the Alameda Bridge, and there's an east and a west side. Getting off onto the east side, we were able to see this cool tunnel here. And then once we made our way down to the water, which is a bit of a walk, once you cross that drainage ditch and make your way over to the river, it was super shallow. We saw paddle boarders walking around. I was able to walk all the way across. It's so shallow here because it's so wide, and actually metal detect everywhere. Of course, we didn't find anything but buried trash, but there was no trash or almost no trash on the surface and no graffiti. So it seemed like the farther north we went on the Rio Grande, the more beautiful it was. But I gotta say, the Rio Grande was so worth it. It makes Albuquerque beautiful. Great place to take your pets, great place to take yourself. Do yourself a favor and get out here. Earlier in the summer, you'll find there's not a ton of water, but you go out there even before that during the spring, during the runoff, and it's gonna be lots of deep water. Take your little boats out, your canoes, your rafts, and have a blast. Well, until next time, adios.